Hello everyone and welcome to the second day of our trail ride. I have to admit we were all in a little bit of a rough state after staying up late last night, which you will have seen in the last episode. We were up at about 6:30 AM and everyone was just prepping the horses and packing up the campsite. We had a long day of riding ahead of us. We did end up setting off a little bit later than planned, but we were all in good spirits for the day. Lottie also wore a helmet cam today, so some clips will be from her camera. Honestly, there is something so incredibly freeing about being on horseback in the early morning, trekking up a mountain with some friends. It's actually so strange because I had only known these people for about a day, but we had all really bonded. Whether that be due to being out in the wilderness together and having to watch each other's backs, or the visit to the inn, it didn't really matter because we felt safe together and we had so many laughs to share. Something I also noticed on today's ride was that I was actually listening to my surroundings. It's so often our brains ignore background noises, whether that be cars, other conversations, music, machinery, anything like that. All of it prevents us from actually hearing nature, hearing the birds, the rustle of the bushes, and even the sounds of hooves on a beaten path. I found that although I was tired, I was also more aware of myself and what was around me. Bandit was an absolute angel. He listened really well to me, but he was quite talkative and would whinny and nicker quite often. I did miss Jericho though. The lovable pain in my butt was probably gorging on hay in the paddock or running around and giving the stable hands a hard time. Sure, he would have killed me in at least 5 places on this trail ride, but I still wished he could have come with us. I was also able to think a lot on this ride about what I wanted and what Jericho needed and what was best for the both of us. Seeing how beautiful it was up in the Grizzlies and the skill that these trail horses had made me sort of realise that we had come to be stuck in a bit of a rut at McFarlane's. It's a brilliant place to train for flat work and get us back on our feet after I fell off, but where was there to go? The cross-country track was pretty basic, there was only one arena and the trails were pretty much well ridden by me and Queasy at this point. Not to mention, there were also almost no other riders boarded there, it was mostly work and carriage horses. Maybe it was time we started thinking about moving on, competing more even, and allowing Jericho to actually reach his potential rather than having him cooped up in a small town ranch. I got to thinking about what I wanted for myself too. Where was my life going? Where did I want it to go? I actually ended up talking to Navis, the girl who's in front of me, about how she managed to shape her life and if she was happy. She told me that although work was hard at Emerald and the days were long, she wouldn't have wanted her life to be any different. She said that her and her sister had always taken any opportunity they were given and worked hard to make sure that that opportunity turned into a sustainable life. It got me thinking, going on a trail ride like this may seem like absolute heaven and people might be envious of the guides that get to do this full time, but in reality they work every day to be able to do something like this. Funny how much a little bit of fresh air makes you think. Anyway, I'll actually go ahead and give you a montage. Oh, and please let me know if you would like to see the raw video of this ride. Maybe it will give you some peace too. we did take breaks from time to time, and we ended up having a little picnic together on the top of the mountain. However nice that was, unfortunately we were now very behind schedule and would end up getting back to Emerald after dark. The trip was definitely weighing on some people now, so we all tried to keep everyone's spirits up. Just a side note as well, Gizmo was doing absolutely fantastically on the ride. He was incredibly well behaved, especially around the other horses. Lottie said that at worst, he was a little bit lazy. Queasy was also very proud of him, that's for sure. Oh, and the next few bits of the ride are just too pretty not to show you. The last stretch of the ride, we were all absolutely shattered and very ready to get into bed. It was probably one of the hardest sections since the light was fading, we were all saddle sore and the horses were moving slower as well. Plus, the nighttime is spooky. But after all was said and done, we pulled into Emerald Ranch in one piece together. This ride was quite the journey, and I would recommend swinging by Emerald Ranch if you have the chance and asking for Skully. She is so incredibly welcoming and her trail rides are really something else. I've made some friends, did a lot of thinking, and experienced something truly freeing. As for the future, I suppose we'll have to wait and see. I honestly didn't film anything after my dismount since my helmet cam actually died, but it was pretty mundane anyway. We helped untack the horses we borrowed, we loaded Gizmo up and took him back to Valentine, where we slept for the night. Lottie's train actually left early in the morning, so we had to say goodbye to her then, and me and Queasy would head back to McFarlane on the train later that day. I'd like to thank everyone for a brilliant trail ride. It's something I won't forget. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay positive and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!